Among all the leaked Resident Evil games out there, Resident Evil Outrage seems mysterious the most, not only because some get confused if it's Resident Evil Revelations 3 or not, but also because there is no solid confirmation stating if the game is cancelled or not. However, I think that the game is still being worked on and is still out there. I'll tell you my theories at the end of this video. But before getting to the news, if you love Resident Evil and enjoy Resident Evil content, then check my channel out because I'm covering Resident Evil content and I'm sure you're gonna love it. Now let's get into the video. Let me start by saying that these info are not confirmed, but are actually from a trusted source, Dust Golem and Nate Drake. So let's get started. It all goes back to when Capcom's game plan was leaked, showing their game's release schedule. These games were Street Fighter, Resident Evil, all the way to Capcom's other IPs such as Monster Hunter. Among them, we see numerous Resident Evil titles, like Resident Evil Village, the DLC of Village, Resident Evil Hank, seemingly Hunk, and Resident Evil 4 Remake, and you guessed it, Resident Evil Outrage. Many fans thought, oh, it's Outrage, maybe it's a new Outbreak. But unfortunately no, it is not a new Outbreak, but don't lose hope yet cause there is a lot to come. The sources have also confirmed that in this game, you play as Rebecca Chambers. A short history of Rebecca for those of you who are not familiar, she first made appearance in Resident Evil and also had her own game in Resident Evil 0 and was also a playable character in Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries Reunion DLC, and she was one of the main characters in Resident Evil Vendetta. In the first game, she was just a rookie star member. Anyway, that was a quick history of her. Let's move on now. The leaks suggest we play as her, and there was gonna be a demo release just like other new Resident Evil games, where you take control of her and you are in a campus sort of place, and there are locations such as classrooms, cafeterias, and more. And the game starts with a knife or scissors in her hands. The demo ends when she tries to run and someone knocks her unconscious, probably something like Resident Evil 7 demo. Well, about the budget though, get ready cause you're about to hear something really intense. It seems like that the budget was equal to Resident Evil 8's budget, if not more. Considering the fact that this is not a mainline game, it's probably gonna be a great game. Now let's say a theory that I have. Well, remember this photo of Albert Wesker, and everybody claimed that it's from Resident Evil 4 Remake? Well, guess what? It was from a cancelled Resident Evil game, and since the leaks say that Resident Evil Outrage is also cancelled, I assume that concept art of Albert Wesker was from Resident Evil Outrage. There is also another rumor saying that Leon Kennedy is gonna be the second playable character, which is great, because we haven't had a game including him for a while. I mean, since Resident Evil 2 Remake. So the game was gonna be developed on RE Engine, the same engine that the recent Resident Evil games were developed on, like Resident Evil 7, 2 and 3 Remake and Village. Now let's get to some theories. I personally think that this is a multiplayer Resident Evil game, not like what we saw in Resident Evil Verse, instead something like Outrage. Because based on the leaked info, this could not be a prototype game. This has to be a great deal because of the huge investment. Anyway, just like Resident Evil Revelations 1, it's gonna be Nintendo Switch exclusive firstly, and then comes on PC, PS4 and Xbox Series S and X. Obviously, it's not gonna look as cool as other consoles on Nintendo Switch, but it's still cool. Now let me say why I think this game is not cancelled yet. Well, right now Capcom is doing huge sales on Resident Evil Village 2 and 3 Remake by having some reasonable offers. They are seemingly trying to lure back the players to Resident Evil Village. Probably the DLC is finished and they are waiting for the perfect time to release the DLC. After that, we have got the huge Resident Evil 4 Remake on the way, which is also not confirmed, yet highly rumored. And also because of the huge investment and the budget that the game has, I mean Resident Evil Outrage, I don't think this game could be cancelled. But what I do believe is that the game is postponed and Capcom is actually focusing on Resident Evil Village DLC and probably Resident Evil 4 Remake because of the high expectations of Resident Evil 4 and the great feedback that they got from Resident Evil Village. Anyway, these were the new info and some theories on Resident Evil Outrage, a high potential multiplayer Resident Evil game which I'm really looking forward to playing. Anyway, if you have come so far and enjoyed this video, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're a Resident Evil fan, then you've gotta check my channel out, cause I'm sure you're gonna love the content. And as always, thanks for watching.